I'm AJ Green. You're watching NFL in London.
All right, we're about to start the podcast. Here we go with the podcast. Hold on, we haven't recorded it on the computer yet. You have to. This dog wants to be in the podcast. You cannot be in the podcast.
It's going to be the star of the podcast.
It could be. It could be.
But you know, people don't even. They just tune in. No one's even listening. They're just staring at you.
That was supposed to be on quiet. And now it is on quiet. Everyone, there it is. The podcast has started. That's how we do it. Podcast, episode 62 or so. Week 2 review.
Are you counting? Or
I do count them, actually. I do count them because it's just an easier thing.
62, it feels...
It's like 62. Yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
We started numbering them because now that they're a little bit more professional. And
imagine episode 100. We'll have to do something
We will do something special. This dog will get sacrificed. Human sacrifice. Or a dog sacrifice.
Then we'll get cancelled.
So it is Wade and Ryan here, NFL in London. Look, Ryan, just tell everyone about it. I know you've been chomping at the bit to talk about your...
No, I don't really actually like to brag about all my never-ending achievements that happen in my life. No, but we did put a NFL London...
we had our DraftKings contest. DraftKings graciously put in $300.
And this guy...
and they also had a contest for tickets, but Ryan crushed it.
Took the contest.
Took the one.
I was a little scared when Patrick Mahomes put up 4 touchdowns in like 10 minutes.
Yes.
But was able to hold on. $100, much needed. So,
yeah.
You know what? I had a really good feeling about this team. It was one of those ones... Because I actually do more research on DFS than I do on my regular fantasy.
Wow, that's okay.
Which shows because I'm 0-2 in one of my leagues. But it just all felt perfect. Like I've been as for someone who's hated Baltimore for so long, I've been on the Lamar Jackson train 2 weeks in a row.
The LJ train.
2 weeks in a row. I'm not going to do it this week.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think he could still have a great week this week. Maybe I should just keep riding him.
It's a tougher match, but yeah.
I'm doing well. He was great, and I had the Patriots defense.
You had the Patriots defense. Defense played absolutely amazing.
In fantasy, your strategy is play whoever's playing Miami. Huh. That should be whoever's trying. Look like 3 weeks ahead. It's like, I got a big game. I'm going to pick up this defense for no
Exactly.
reason.
You're just looking ahead for all your stuff. And I mean, a lot of people now, too, obviously we're going to get into it. There was a hell of a lot of injuries last weekend. And I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks that are injured, but quarterbacks that look like they're injured. And I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you and Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson.
It's the oldies too. We're losing all the oldies.
Yeah.
They're finally they're not on the TB12 method.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
That's why they're going down.
Yeah, which is having a sniper hit them from a building. That's probably why they're going away. Dog, I'm gonna have to
put you down. She's all snoring.
Can you hear this now? Hunt. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Wherever you wanted to do.
There you go down. You go sit over here. Sorry, there was a dog in the podcast. A few injuries. I mean, Drew Brees, obviously, Big Ben is his career. Who knows how bad it is? But he's gone for the season.
He might be getting the old Tommy John surgery, which is a baseball killer.
Yeah, especially when you're 62 years old. Also, you've got Drew Brees, 6 weeks, maybe more. Nick Foles gone for the season. And you got other quarterbacks just looking horrible.
Cam Newton looking rough.
He went from a mild injury to now he can't wear hats anymore.
Yeah, he's gonna be like he's just gonna be like, I'm not wearing that gown.
No, I'm not. Yeah, no, exactly.
I got my own gown.
I got my own. It's got a big hat on it.
It's just gonna be silk.
Sir, we need to shave your head for surgery. No, you don't.
No, I got my surgery hat that I will be wearing. My surgery sombrero.
So he's injured, but it's good because he hasn't really been playing that well. I also believe Aaron Rodgers got hurt. I don't know if you saw it.
No, you're just a Rodgers hater.
Watch it again. Watch it again. No, watch it again. He didn't throw a pass in the third quarter. Got basically any yards. Minnesota could barely keep it in. Kirk Cousins was crap. He made no deep passes. And if you saw him in the third quarter, he grabs his hand.
Well, we'll do that when we get to each game.
We'll get to each game.
I don't think he's hurt, but yes, it's a devastating week for a lot of people in fantasy and a lot of people just right now because like a team like New Orleans, like Teddy Bridgewater came in and just did not look.
He did not. You're going, where's Taysom Hill?
Yeah, they could bring in Hill, which I think a lot of people would much rather see him play. I think even New Orleans has more faith in him. So I could see if Bridgewater has a bad game, Hill coming in. But it's going to be a real sticky. The one thing is, it's all kind of just blown wide open for teams now. The AFC and the NFC, there's a lot of openings now where teams are like, okay, we can maybe make a run.
We can do it, yeah.
So,
except the Patriots.
But they're going to be fine. But for teams like my Buffalo Bills, this is with all those AFC quarterbacks.
Anything can happen.
And Andrew Luck retiring. It's just been a devastating year for
And there's a lot of opportunities going on to these weeks. So what we're going to do is Ryan and I will go through all the games. quickly go through all the games and sort of see what happened in week 2 of the NFL.
Remember all these games.
Yeah. So we already talked about the Carolina Panthers, and let's talk about, so we can go into the Bears game, which came up first, but it was a late game. Obviously, we watched this go at 9 o'clock. Ryan and I watched it. A lot of controversial calls, holding calls for the Bears to win.
There was a couple. There was the roughing the passer on Bradley Chubb, which is disgraceful.
There was two roughing the passers back and forth that were just disgusting.
It was just an ugly game. Mitchell Trubisky still worries me, man.
He's still throwing back foot.
I'll tell you what, like all the people like who always trash Josh Allen. Right now, I'm sitting here being like, I'm glad I don't have Trubisky. Trubisky looks like the one who's now everyone's getting those that feeling.
Yeah.
And because last year, like he had a great year.
He did.
Like, statistically, like I would take his year last year for Josh Allen this year.
Sure.
And I'd be like, that was a great year. So there's no reason why him and Matt Nagy's offense the second year is as bad as they are right now. I don't understand. Is it they didn't do any preseason? I doubt it. These guys practice every day. It should be fine. It's very worrisome. I think it was, and again, that a terrible penalty on the Bears to give the second 2-point conversion. The second choice when he missed the kick.
No, exactly.
And it was just a disaster.
No,
but Trubisky had a big play to win that game.
Yeah.
And so you got to give him credit for that, even though I've been trashing him. And Eddie Pinheiro is a hero.
Pinheiro the hero. Trubisky,
Eddie Money.
Trubisky still throwing off his back foot and still very linear progression. I don't think he's really had much progression.
It's worrisome. That's all I'm going to say.
It is very worrisome.
And luckily they got Washington this week. So this should be a good Trubisky bounce. Because if he struggles against... Even Washington's got decent defense.
Yeah.
But he's got to have a big game.
And Denver's not looking good for them either as well. I mean, their whole quarterback situation falling apart. No running game. And the defense was sort of the only thing that really held them together. The defense...
Well, the defense was okay. It
was okay, but it's better. Pretty much
again,
what they got.
Yeah, like Philip Lindsay doesn't look the same because he had a bad injury last year. Emmanuel Sanders had an amazing catch in the back of the end zone, then got the 2-point conversion. He's coming off I think it was like an Achilles, which is insane that he's producing like that. And he's like 33, which is just even crazier. But yeah, just Flacco. It's just
Flacco.
Like, you just have that feeling like what? Like if you're Denver, there's no way you're like Flacco's gonna turn it around, right?
No, there's none of that. And so it'll be interesting to see
if only Chad Kelly didn't walk naked into someone's house.
Yeah.
During the night.
He did.
We could be seeing the Chad Kelly era coming.
Well, he's
very
gone
soon.
now.
I know. And he got cut from
He got cut, so they're talking about him going
XFL, baby.
USF.
No, he's going to the XFL.
They're talking about him going a coaching job.
He's going to be XFL.
Quarterback coach for UCLA.
XFL MVP right there.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'm calling it.
Let's move to another game. Hey, these guys, Baltimore Ravens, were feted to be a lot better than this, but Kyler Murray still is able to keep teams in. Baltimore is closer than they wanted it to be. They beat Arizona Cardinals 23-17. Everyone is still on Jackson, but this was a game. You got to do better against Arizona.
You would think, right? Because again, Lamar Jackson had a great game. Don't get me wrong, had a good game. So I'm not going to complain about that. But 23 points against Arizona at home. Feels like it only winning by 6. It just doesn't feel like a big especially when you won 59-10 the last week. So and it's coming home with the confidence in that. But it's good on Arizona. But Arizona did a thing. What was it? They're the first team since like the 60s to kick a field goal 3 times in a game within the 5-yard line.
Wow.
So that game they were in the 5 3 times, kicked a field goal every single time.
Wow. Not really a lot of confidence in your quarterback.
They brought in Cliff Kingsbury because he's the air raid spread down. NFL ain't seen nothing like this. Well, apparently they haven't seen a coward kick 3 field goals in one. That would infuriate me.
I would. I think as a fans as well.
I say, as a coach, my whole strategy would just be, what would Belichick do?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, Belichick's going for it every single time.
He's pounding
in
through.
that 5. Because even if you don't... And then again, what did it even help you? I'll tell you what would have helped you is 2 more touchdowns. Even 1 more touchdown.
1 more touchdown would put it in
well,
there.
They wouldn't have got the field goal.
What I do like, though, is his use of Larry Fitzgerald. I think it was nice to see him mix it around. There's a lot of times that Larry didn't have that. He's a all-star wide receiver.
Larry,
I mean, you got 2 legends. You got 2 legends there.
Absolute legend.
Let's move on to the next game. Hey, those 49ers rolling along over the Bengals. The Bengals... Jesus, what's going to happen? I mean, really. The 49ers spreading it around. The wide receivers make it look easy in this game.
Well, the Bengals are kind of decimated on the offensive line. They don't have A.J. Green. Joe Mixon is hurt. But this is just a terrible showing at home for your home opener. It's just like that, especially actually when you played a real competitive game against Seattle the other week. And everyone was kind of like, oh, hey now, maybe Cincinnati, we can hold off a bit till A.J. Green comes back. We could do something. And then Jimmy G comes and puts 41 up on you.
He does. He wasn't looking as bad as he was. There was
I think that's a huge
passes.
game. He had the type of game that Trubisky needs to have this week.
He still had a few bad passes if you watch the replays. A few passes where he just chucks it.
Still at 130 ratings, so you can't really complain.
Still good. Cincinnati Bengals.
But we'll see. Yeah, Bengals, I think it's just going to be a long year. Dalton's on pace to throw for 5,000 yards. So, again, just showing that he's just not terrible. He's just not, going to win.
I'm actually starting to look.
I think he's just kind of screwed, the Bengals. And good on the Niners. Undefeated still. They needed that. So big win.
They did. And this is a game I called, and you went the other way. I said Detroit.
Is that why you got your book in?
I just wanted to see, because we didn't even check our scores from last week. I want to see how well we did.
Game,
I can add them back, but I was I knew Detroit
because
they messed up on one of my betting picks. But Detroit, hey man, they're coming together now. Detroit Lions 13-10. Chargers not getting anything.
It was a
defensive battle this game.
This is a very classic and worrisome Chargers game because Chargers always have a game where they're heating up at the beginning and then they have this stinker against a team they should win. Yeah. Especially when you want to be a Super Bowl champ, all right? You got to be able to come in and beat Detroit. Detroit, give it up. They're still undefeated.
They
Detroit,
are
1-0-1, so especially in that division.
In that division, tough division. And
Matt Stafford looked all right, but they, again, 13-10. There's nothing super impressive. Good defense, I guess. But yeah, there's nothing to talk about. Austin Eckler, a bit disappointing after coming off that big game and that offense moving it, but we'll see. I'm not too sold on the Chargers. I actually now...
I'm not as sold either.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
I think Detroit can make the playoffs. Their defense is playing well. T.J. Hawkinson is really connecting with Matt Stafford.
Yeah, he had a bad game this week, but he was amazing. He's the one guy that... I have him in fantasy, so I'm just I want to play him every single week. But I know he's going to screw me weeks, but he's going to have some big weeks because he's a weapon.
He's fifth in receiving yards for all tight ends so far this year, just right behind Greg Olsen.
There we go, the ancient one.
Yeah, and the ancient one. Everyone's like, I'm not taking Greg Olsen. Well, Greg Olsen's actually playing quite well. Hey, how about a game where we go the NFC? Man, the Packers barely survive a win against Minnesota, 21-16. As I said, I believe Aaron Rodgers was hurt. If you watch the play again, third quarter, he hurts his hand. He doesn't complete passes after that.
Yeah, it was a weird.
It was anemic after that, and basically it was all the Green Bay defense that did all the work.
Well, you could be right. I don't really know. If you haven't heard anything about him being hurt, but especially since they did come out on fire in that first quarter, they were just moving the ball touchdown after touchdown. But then, and then it just seemed to just be oh wait, they just decided that's it. We're good at 21. So again, you got Matt LaFleur, this coach, with Aaron Rodgers, who's used to putting up about 30 a game on people. Really putting up 13 and 21. That is a bit worrisome. I think they still have a great defense. They played amazing. Yeah. So good on them.
And they got Denver.
Still a good offense. And Green Bay, I still think, is the best team in that division. But it's going to be tough. You're not going to win with 21 points.
You're not going to win.
Week 6. So I want to see a bit more letting Aaron Rodgers loose and Matt LaFleur. And let's see that little bit of why you were hired. Because right now, this doesn't look like any better than Mike McCarthy's team.
It doesn't. And, I think that Minnesota's got to have a lot of buyer's remorse at this point. The Kirk Cousins experiment, I think, is done. It's not working, man.
It's it was just because, quarterbacks usually don't ever hit the free agent market, right? Yeah. So it was this, exciting thing. And everyone got excited. It's oh, man, he's going to make so much money. And then you're oh, yeah, he's Kirk Cousins. Yeah. It just kind of feels like that.
You're just no, you're
that good in Washington. You're good, but...
He wasn't that good in Washington. So, it's going to be an interesting experiment. Green Bay is hosting Denver next week. Minnesota is, got another game as well. But I don't know. These two teams, I'm not sold on them yet, just like the Bears. As a Bears fan, I'm actually quite confident because these two teams going down the stretch, I don't know. Here's a team. Here's a guy. Another crappy score. Almost a baseball game. 13-12. Houston Texans barely outlasting Jacksonville Jaguars. Mildew almost got some stuff going there. The mustache.
Well, the crazy thing is, right? You're trying to build the legend of Minshew, right? And then you get a chance at the end of the game to go for 2 for the win, and then you give it to Leonard Fournette. Like, this is, everyone wanted to see Minshew do it.
Yeah.
You got to put the hands into quarterback. I think, like, Leonard Fournette, it was not like he was dominating the game and he's been lighting up the league. But I think at 4th and 2, to run it in seems almost really difficult. I think it's better to spread it out, get more options. You got play. Like, you just, it doesn't succeed that much running it, and I think it's a bad decision. It's a classic, as a Bills fan, Doug Marrone decision. Because Doug Marrone is obsessed with running the ball.
Sure.
That's why he's going to get fired, because he has just the most innovative offenses of all time. He's so old school. So I kind of hate the Jaguars. And he quit on the Bills. So he can go fuck himself.
All right, so we know how Ryan stands on this. Yeah.
Houston, again, this wasn't... Like, again, you're playing Jacksonville's defense. They showed up better compared to last week, but last week they're playing the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
So, but again, Houston... Deshaun Watson's getting hit still.
Yeah,
still
he is.
getting sacked. You know, you gave up 2 first-round picks, and I know it's going to take a few weeks for Tunsil to fit in, but, you know, I'm still worried about them. I still don't know. I think Ramsey did a great job on Hopkins, but... Houston's still that team. I just like, hey, Bill O'Brien. He just doesn't do it for me.
Clown cars here.
Yeah, clown cars
it's a
here.
tiny dog. I also think Deshaun Watson is injured. Watching the game again, watching some of the highlights, I think he got injured in that.
Surprised.
He struggled. You know, he didn't get any points up after that. He barely could move the ball. He could barely run at all. You know, he wasn't the 6 sacks he took in week 1, but he was not walking quick, man. He was not looking good in this contest.
He's playing a tough defense, but again, that's why I'm saying the AFC just feels wide open for the wild card now. Like, I think before everyone was like, yeah, it's going to be Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Chargers fighting for those 3 playoff spots. And right now, everyone's sitting there being like, actually, Pittsburgh doesn't look like they're going to go. Browns look completely beatable. Chargers look beatable. Like, this is wide open. It's very exciting.
And your Steelers Eagles showdown is still
it's over. Okay,
yeah.
I've decided. I feel like we should just be able
talk
to
about every week,
just to do a new one because it's already over.
Is that like people who do their fantasies and like, let's do?
But
I don't like it by week 3. We
I'll
can
tell you
pick.
what, if Mason Rudolph does that magic and takes him to the Super Bowl,
if he's got it, I don't know. It's
I
going
would
to be very difficult.
be buying a Mason Rudolph jersey that day.
I think we'd all be Rudolph fans. Every kid at Christmas will want a Rudolph jersey. Let's move on to the next game. Patriots.
That's why
Dolphins.
you kind of hope he is good, just for that.
Just for the
that
Christmas
marketing campaign.
Yeah, just for Christmas.
They're
Having a Rudolph for Christmas.
Yeah, dying.
And they do it in a red jersey as well.
Oh yeah.
So we've got Patriots Dolphins. Hey, they covered. Hey, 43-0.
Yeah.
43-0, and they covered.
That was the easiest cover of all time. Like, even though it was like 19.5, you're just like, of course they're going to win by 19.5.
Well, they started off a bit slow, and then they put it on a lot of the pressure.
Ugh, you got to feel bad for any Dolphin player. Like, because you're getting like, no one's even looking at you. Your whole career could be getting screwed. Like a guy like Josh Rosen, like poor guy, goes from Arizona, shipped over to Miami. Miami gets rid of every single weapon on his team. Says, yeah, here you go, kid. They're tanking so they can get a quarterback. So Josh Rosen's going to go to another team next year. He's in like this perpetual cycle of just getting tossed around. Like, yeah, we'll take Josh Rosen. He's probably, no one's giving him a fair chance. And then they stink. And then they're like, all right, let's get rid of
it's
Josh
the curse of Rosen. Yeah, exactly.
I think he's probably going to end up retiring before
the XFL.
No, because he'll just be like, you know what, I'm tired of just being traded to some new shit team who's going to make me fail so they can get a quarterback. He's just going to keep getting replaced by a quarterback.
He's like the anti-Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's like they're not brought in as a stopgap solution. He's brought in as solution
the future, but
else.
then immediately gets given up on. You got to feel bad for him in a way.
No,
because
not really. He was cocky.
I don't think it's... Yeah, he was a bit cocky at that draft. But
that's going to humble you.
No one's going to... No situation, especially on Miami. Like, he's probably sitting there like, no thanks, I don't want to play this year. That's only going to hurt my stock.
Oh, yeah, I would be like... snorting meth.
So Antonio Brown got a touchdown, so that was...
A-B.
It's good to know that good things happen to good people.
It does. I mean, he jumped on those 2 women in the crowd.
Those real underdog Patriots really took a chance on this, down on his luck.
If only they could do something with Jalen Ramsey. Maybe they can help him out.
Yeah,
that would
probably will get Ramsey. We'll give you a 3rd round pick.
Yeah. And then you just give them the
But the Patriots did lose their left tackle, which is a big loss. Like, again, but they've been able to just whatever happens to their offensive line doesn't seem to matter. So it'll
No.
be really interesting to see. Again, they got the Jets this week. The real funny thing is about this is when they play the Bills, if the Bills win and Patriots win this week,
Yeah.
they'll play each other both 3-0,
Yeah.
and neither one of them will have played a team with a win.
Okay.
Because
Nice.
they've both played teams that are all 0-3.
Oh, nice.
If the Giants lose.
Okay.
Which I'm assuming they will.
I'm assuming the Giants will probably
But
lose.
again, what are you going to say to the Patriots? They played the Dolphins. It was over.
Yeah.
There's really nothing to talk
Now,
about.
yeah,
Tom Brady looked
let's
great.
go on to your bill. He did look great. I mean, he was just throwing the ball around. I have him in fantasy, good on a lot of my fantasy
Yeah,
pools.
he was good at my fantasy team.
And I'm glad. I stuck with the old veteran Brady in a lot of my pools, and a lot of the other guys have died and gone by the wayside. How about your Bills? Beating the New York Giants 28-14. The age of Eli is done. He retires with a 116 record. He's not retired,
Look at this. The Bills.
but he's not.
The Bills week 1 play Sam Darnold. Mono.
Yeah.
Week 2 play Eli Manning.
Gut.
Gone, retired. Week 3 gonna play
Tom.
If it goes again, then it's Tom Brady
If
week
you,
4.
Yeah, you kill Tom Brady.
We're gonna murder him like
If you guys kill Tom Brady, America will sell Buffalo to Canada.
But listen, this was good, just a solid Buffalo. When I saw this, it's just like this is a team you should beat, and you should beat them pretty easily.
Yeah.
And that's what Buffalo pretty much did. They came out down 7-0.
Yeah.
Look, just got walked over by Saquon Barkley, and you're like, okay. But Josh Allen looked good. Like all the complaints that he couldn't complete passes. He's 63% again, so he's like 64% on the season. Again, another beautiful rushing touchdown. He's got 2 on the year. Passing touchdown was just kind of a shovel pass. Wasn't really anything. But again, this Buffalo defense looks solid. Just put pressure, cause turnovers. It's just a good build. This is the most excited I've been in a while. And as a Bills fan, I'm usually not that excited. But this is the first time they just have a complete defense that just move. They don't let anyone get in the end zone barely. They're just absolutely solid. I love how John Brown has looked with the Bills.
he has. Singletary hasn't been used as much,
Singletary, he pulled up on a
underused.
hamstring. Yeah, but he's averaging like 12.5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
So I think his is going to get increased as the season goes on. But he had a bit of a hamstring injury, so we'll see about him. Again, this is just a big week. Go home, and there was 2 wins on the road, which is massive. To win 2 on the road, you got the next 5 or 6 at home. You got Cincinnati coming up. 3-0 versus 3-0 Pats.
You're all excited.
And then we're going to get...
Ryan's just looking forward to week 4.
We're just going to get just wasted.
Yeah, hey,
usual.
wasted this weekend. Hey,
But the lead-up will be exciting. I'll
lead-up-
enjoy those 5 days.
the lead-up will be exciting. If you do want to get wasted...
And hate those 3
If you want to
hours.
get wasted this Sunday, join us at Belushi's, Hammersmith. We're going to be doing a special for 100. We're giving a contest for 100 wings. You win those. But 22...
We did the 100 wings.
We did it to 100 wings. We ended up giving to those young guys.
Just
in front
not
of
the
us.
same as we were used to.
No.
Like,
It's like, here you go, young guys. Eat those for us.
if we were in our 20s, it would have been like, sweet, look at all these wings. And then I saw that thing and I was like, I'm going home.
The difference is we can afford to eat now. So in your 20s, you're like, I got no money for food.
Well,
Relatively. But let's move on to this game. Hey, debacle. The game that took Big Ben out, but Seattle still looks not good.
Well, good, yeah, they're strong. Like
Their defense is really bad.
Well,
It's bad,
it's not
man.
so much that. No, I don't think. I think there's a couple things. It's just they're not winning convincingly. And when Mason Rudolph comes in and Big Ben goes out early, you should be able to have a handle of this game and be able to take it. Maybe that says something about Mason Rudolph. Maybe he's a good quarterback. I don't know. But right now, Seattle again. There was Cincinnati and Pittsburgh.
Both torched them.
But give it up for Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is awesome. Every week he just keeps showing you that I'll just do it myself.
Yeah.
A beautiful pass to DK Metcalf. So that's nice to see that offense because they need a weapon. Got Chris Carson again. I think Seattle's just a solid 10-win team. This is what they're going to do. Every year, 1 week, they're going to have an absolute stinker where you're like, what the hell is Seattle doing? But right now, they're just taking care of business, and a win on the road in Pittsburgh is a tough win. So
it was, but they
that's one at the beginning of the year they probably scratched as a loss. Now you got that.
They should have been able to torch Ben, and they should have been able to torch them more for a lot more than they did. That team was weakened down, and I'm surprised that they weren't able to. Russell Wilson wasn't able to.
Does not look good for Pittsburgh.
It doesn't look good. I think both those teams are going to struggle, and I'm really worried about them. 2 teams. One of these teams playing in action Thursday night. Indianapolis Colts took on the Tennessee Titans. Man, defensive battle.
Isn't this the most like Titans game?
It was very much a Titans game.
No, because it's like it's such a thing that where you whoop Cleveland, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like sitting there talking like Delaney Walker's like, you all crowned them, we who are that they thought we are. And it's like, yeah, Titans, you are who we thought you are.
Yeah.
You lost at home 19-17 to a game. This is where you needed to just put your stamp on and said, we're going to take this division.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. And to just sit there and just let Indianapolis win, who doesn't have Andrew Luck, was really upsetting. If I was a Titans fan, I'd be really pissed off being like, yeah, this is, okay, we're still the same. I don't know who we are. Because that's the thing I always feel with the Titans. It's like, who is this team?
Well, it's also
but good for Jacoby Brissett. Go on the road with a win to keep Indianapolis in, because to go 0-2 would have been devastating. So,
well, it's also Indianapolis
it's
losing.
all wide open.
Indianapolis losing
open.
Darius Leonard is also a very big thing. You don't know if he's going to come back. That injury is going to hurt their defense, because that abled them. You know, that's one of the things that's going to keep them in that division is Darius Leonard. He is a beast.
He was rock solid.
And so I don't know if him coming back. They're saying he's. I don't know about this week. But Tennessee Titans have got to move that ball around a lot more. Marcus Mariota is just jumping around like a Mexican jumping bean.
It's a contract.
He's tossing this thing around. He's able to get Delaney Walker and Henry, but at the same time, man, he's got to be more sure-footed.
It's a contract year, too. So he needs to make the big money. And I'm telling you what, 16, 17 touchdowns a year is not going to get you 30
That
million.
is not enough. Let's move on to the big game. Everyone thought a big game, but hey, Washington always likes to keep it tight. Dallas, Washington, Dak Prescott, who is now the second coming, again, apparently, wins against the Washington Redskins 31-21, but the Redskins are playing plucky.
Yeah, well, the Redskins are, you know what, they're fighting. You give them credit. You know, they're
not going down like Miami.
Yeah, exactly, right? Give it all up for the credit to not just cower and just quit. At least the Redskins have a pretty decent defense. You know, it's not terrible. I think Dallas just has a great offense. Dak is looking awesome. For someone who didn't really think he's definitely proven me wrong. He looks like as much a franchise quarterback as anyone in the NFL. So, good on him. It's really funny because I've always had this like hatred of Dallas. I think a lot of people hate Dallas.
America's team.
You're
anti-American.
But they do have so many fans, but it's partly because they whooped my Bills 2 years in a row. Super Bowl. But it's just they're actually like kind of a fun team to watch. They got a great defense like Van Der Esch, DeMarcus Lawrence. You know, Zeke's kind of a shitty person, but he's good. He's on my fantasy team, so I'll definitely watch him. Amari Cooper's just good. He just every week shows up, plays good. So I just this is the least hated Dallas team. If it wasn't for Jerry Jones, I'd actually cheer for them.
I like Jerry just because that time we interviewed him, he was kind of funny. But
anyone can be funny.
Yeah, no, he had stories. I'll tell you stories.
He's done some terrible things.
He has, but he's also treated a lot of people like crap and other stuff.
But I think Washington is just right now. It's like let's see what Dwayne Haskins has. Yeah, like what the Giants did with moving to Daniel Jones. Yeah, which I think was the absolute right move. I think it was time to do.
Yeah, you have to when you're on two like that.
But I think if Jay Gruden wants to keep his job, it's the same thing. Pat Shermer is like, listen, if I go down with the ship if I play Eli all year, I'm going down with this ship.
Yeah.
But if I play Daniel Jones and we have a bit of success, he looks good. I got another year.
Yeah.
And I think Jay Gruden has to think the exact
He's got to get a few
thing.
wins.
He's got to start saying, all right, listen, Case Keenum has been all right. You know, he hasn't been terrible. That's not necessarily his fault. But it's like, we got to play Haskins. We got to see how good this kid is. And I think after this week, if they lose to the Bears, I think we see Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, they're going to lose to the Bears. That's it for sure. Let's move on to another big game. Kansas City, Oakland. Oakland keeping it tight for a bit. Kansas City able to put the pressure, work their defense. Oakland, are they able to get it together? Kansas City Chiefs continue to roll on.
Like
and Patrick Mahomes still...
He threw for almost like 300 yards in one quarter.
Yeah.
It's insane. That was some Madden
shit. He is
shit.
the best top-ranked quarterback in the NFL right now.
But you know what? They look good, especially with Tyreek Hill out. Still about 28. You actually think they still would have scored more. It almost feels weird looking at that score.
It does. But, they kept it close, and it's not like the last year when they were putting up 50, 55 points.
Oakland's just, this is just, again... Yeah. No one's really surprised by this. I think that's a good showing for Kansas City's defense to hold them to 10.
Yeah.
Take a lot out of that. But Oakland's just going to be a tough year. I think they had that win because of all the hard knocks and the Antonio Brown and the emotions were high. But I think this is more the Oakland we're going to see. I just don't think they have the weapons without Antonio Brown to be able to move it. And I think it's going to get tougher as there's more film and as teams start
people start figuring it out. Here's the injury that gutted a lot of us.
Took the wind out of the sails.
And the Rams beat the Saints not convincingly. They've had 2 tough weeks, Carolina and New Orleans. Their offensive line still looks like crap. Jared Goff is not the same guy with the same confidence. He's getting chased around, but they were able to beat the Saints 27-9. But a lot of these last minute kind of things, and Teddy Bridgewater, I think he was like, "What? I have to play this year? What? We thought we were winning." Like he looked like he was about to go get takeaway.
It was weird because it was like a year ago or something. He was like the Jets.
Second or third.
Yeah, he was on the Jets, right?
Yeah.
And then he was playing preseason, had a really good preseason. I think it was 2 years ago. And they traded him to New Orleans. And then ever since then he had that one game last year and he played terribly, and now he played terribly again. I just don't know what to expect. I think this is a real test for Sean Payton because he's had Drew Brees for so long.
Yeah.
It's a real test for coaches when you've had this amazing quarterback like a Mike Tomlin. It's like, yeah. I've had this thing I've never had to even worry about.
No, exactly.
Sean Payton has never once had to be like, oh, Drew Brees. Like that. Now he's like, oh, shit. So this is a real test for Sean Payton to see how good of a coach he is, because I think it's going to be real difficult with Teddy Bridgewater. I think especially in that division, it's going to be hard, especially with Atlanta doing well. Good to see the Rams. Again, it just doesn't feel like the same offense as the Rams. Goff had a better game. But I still feel there's that bit of a hangover with them. But good solid defense. But again, you're playing New Orleans with Bridgewater. I don't feel that confident. But good on the Rams. They don't have the hangover. They're 2-0, but it's a weird 2-0. That's the
whole thing is I think Teddy Bridgewater, because they've been prepping for Brees for so long, when he finally steps in, it's like, oh crap, I didn't think it would happen this early. One thing I think they will do going forward is Bridgewater will be prepared. But hopefully they can mix it up with Taysom Hill like they did last year.
Yeah,
Switch them both. Use both those quarterbacks. Use a running option. Dip and dive.
I think more people are wanting to see Taysom Hill.
I think they want to see both of them because Taysom can run and Teddy can't run as fast as Taysom can. And so Taysom
barely
Hill,
a kneecap.
Yeah, I think it'll be an amazing game. Saints going forward. It was a tough loss for them. Obviously everyone was looking at what the refereeing was going to be like that game. There was some crap calls. But New Orleans is going to have to rebuild after that, having him back by about week 8.
Well, they just got to kind of hold off. Basically, go 500 in the next 6 weeks. Go 3-3 and bring it back to Drew Brees, and I think everything will be okay.
Just keep it down. Keep another one. Keeping it tight. Here's the team that's not keeping it tight. Philadelphia Eagles are looking woeful this year.
Well, they suffered a massive amount of injuries.
A lot of injuries.
We were watching the game, and all of a sudden it was just like... Alshon Jeffrey went out. Then Deshaun Jackson went out. Then at one point Wentz went out. We were just sitting there like, oh my god.
Yeah, no, the injury train rolled into the station, and Atlanta got a much needed win for them, even though it looked tight.
One thing has been nice, which I like to see, is Julio Jones getting in the end zone this year, especially after getting the big money, the $66 million. Julio Jones is a consummate professional. He's absolutely fantastic. You want to see guys like that succeed, and for him to get the game-winning touchdown. Matt Ryan needed this. You should check my thing. I picked Atlanta to win this one, baby. I think I did.
Yeah, no, you had Atlanta to win 3-0. No, you had Atlanta
28-24.
28-24 you had,
24, right off there. Still 4 points. I was right on the 4 points. But again, massive win for Atlanta, especially now that New Orleans and in Carolina with Cam Newton going out.
Yeah.
That division's wide open now.
Totally wide open.
So I think this is like Atlanta's like, oh shit, we got a chance now. These next couple of weeks, we can get a couple wins together. I think it's going to be real fight down to the end for this division, especially depending on how long Cam Newton's out.
God, I hope so, because nobody likes a blowout. Let's go on to the last game then. It was the last one, the Monday Nighter. Yeah. Brown Town. The New York Jets are pretty much now the New York Giants, it looks like, with the way that they've been playing. Cleveland Browns has not been playing that great. And Baker Mayfield still has not impressed me as much as everyone else thinks he should be.
Yeah, well, it's just... he's all over the place. I genuinely kind of do feel bad for the Jets, because... Even though they're in my division and I do hate them, to lose your quarterback to mono, and then just feel like, and then Quentin Williams goes down, C.J. Mosley goes down, and right now, and you have the toughest schedule to start it, and you're just like, we're fucked. Like, it's over. And it is over.
But the Cleveland Cleveland didn't dominate that well. They still needed that 89-yard pass at the end.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And that was Baker. Baker just hasn't looked the same again.
No.
And this is the question of was Freddie Kitchens the right? I think a lot of people have had questions about him. Again, yeah, I'm not. At first, everyone's like they were the sexy. We're going to win the division. We're gonna get the Super Bowl potentially. Yeah. I'm not afraid of the Browns. Like, if I was a team, I wouldn't be like, oh, we can't beat Cleveland.
No.
I still think there's some problems. And when this team gets some real tough games, like when they play New England, and Cleveland's got a real battle, and if they get their asses handed to them. Again, this team, I'm interested to see if this team does implode like everyone assumes they will.
Yeah. So
the Jets are fucked.
Jets are fucked, and I don't think the Browns are as tough as everyone thinks they're going to be. It's going to be really hard, this war of attrition, but injuries are going to be a mitigating factor going forward for a lot of these teams. As you see with someone like Philadelphia, a lot of people vetted and said, hey, these guys are going to go all the way. Now you're just a little speculative of them and see what's going to happen. Those are our picks for Week 2 in the NFL. Ryan and I will be back. Do you want to do a prediction for tonight's game? It's a Thursday game. It is Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Isn't this the most Thursday night game?
Titans are favored by 1.5 points.
Isn't this like when you think of Thursday night football, you think, oh, it's Tennessee-Jacksonville.
Yeah.
It's always just that game no one wants. It was always Bills-Jets.
Yeah.
It was always just like, ugh. Again, I'm not gonna. I'll probably watch mostly the quick extended.
Yeah, I'll watch the NFL game recaps, which will be on our Facebook page tomorrow.
Ooh, this is going to be a tough one. I'm going to go with the Titans to win this one. I think with the Ramsey stuff, like he's going to play. But I just think right now that just team, I don't really believe in Gardner Minshew. I think if Mariota needs to prove, if you can't beat Gardner Minshew in your contract year, then you don't deserve a new contract as far as I'm concerned. If I'm Tennessee, I'm like, listen, we should maybe consider starting over. Maybe you franchise him, but right now, I think Tennessee needs this. I think Derrick Henry's they're going to run him, and I think they're going to win this one, but it's going to be a close one, low scoring. I'm going to say it's going to be 17-13.
All right. I think I posted up earlier, but I actually think Jacksonville's going to win this one. The only reason I do is remember last year when Tennessee played them in a Thursday night game and spanked the crap out of them by like 40 points. They're going to remember that. So I think that it's going to be a tight one. I had it 17. I had it 17. I had it 17-13. You have it 17-14. So I had the same place. It's going to be 30 points. But I see Jacksonville winning this one. They're going to. It's at home. They have to do something. Minshew, they're going to look back at all those runs they did instead of doing the field goal.
The best thing I heard about Minshew, there's a story that he does his pregame stretches only in his jockstrap.
Nice.
With his little mustache. He's just so 70s.
Yeah.
He's so awesome. You kind of, that's why you got to cheer for him. So, but I got to think Mariota's going to
offered.
I can't lose to this guy.
Yeah, he's been offered important contracts. We'll see what happens. Pud, what do you think?
There you go.
Really? She says Jacksonville as well.
Classic.
So that's what we get. We get it from the tiny little dog. And you dead? If I kill another small dog, my daughter's going to kill me. Folks, that's it for NFL in London. Thanks for listening. Come visit us on Sunday at Hammersmith, Belushi's, and then also, if you want, join our DraftKings League. We'll have some contests going up, and we'll also have some fun bets. Thanks a lot for listening, folks. Enjoy.